So today, Salman, everything is now clear. Salman Soz joins us right now with GVL Narasimha Rao. Salman, today everything is completely transparent. It is quite clear that this was never about conversions in the first place in Parliament for you. It was simply about being disruptionist. It's all clear. Now you want to block the ordinance, Salman. So it was never about it was never about conversions. It was never about those issues. It was simply about being disruptionist. You want to create trouble. Your position on opposing the ordinance has revealed your intention, Salman Soz. Would you like to make a confession on national television to start with?
Well, I'll confess to one thing, Arnab, that you have set up the debate in a very partisan way. Instead of holding the government's feet to the fire, you actually accused the opposition parties of being obstructionists. But let's get our facts straight.
Why not?
No, let me, now you spoke and let me speak. Let me speak. The fact of the matter is that in the last session, 11 bills were passed by both houses of parliament.
In the last 10 years, 61 ordinances were promulgated by Manmohan
12 were
Singh.
passed in the Rajya Sabha.
No, 61 ordinances were promulgated by Manmohan Singh. Was that undemocratic?
Wait a second. You said, wait, let me get to the session. I want to tell the people who are watching this program that it is not as if nothing has happened in Parliament. Many bills were passed where we people participated. The opposition
let's discuss the idea of ordinances.
11 bills were passed by both houses.
Let's discuss ordinances. Let's discuss ordinances. Are you afraid of discussing ordinances?
Let me come to that. This U-turn Sarkar has taken another U-turn and now wants to go through the ordinance route, which, by the way, the current Minister Sushma Swaraj said, and I quote, "Under the Constitution, an ordinance can be promulgated only under extraordinary situations.
Yeah.
We are not opposed to a special session of Parliament, but we have suggested that monsoon session of Parliament can be advanced." This was on the Food Security Act. Now, I want to ask the Finance Minister, I want to ask the Prime Minister, what is the extraordinary situation right now?
Okay.
Why were they so against the Food Security Act being taken through the ordinance route, and now they want to get some other legislation which is routine legislation, and we want to support these legislations. We are supportive of FDI cap being increased. Why the ordinance route that they're vehemently opposed? This is U-turn Sarkar.
Fine. No, watch it. BJP will respond. But I want to ask you, Salman Soz.
Let them respond.
No, I want to ask you, I'll ask you a question. I'll give you 2 minutes to think. After that, you respond. Because my question will force you to think. Tell me, what was the urgency, the necessity, the extraordinary situation that you were about to promulgate an ordinance on convicted lawmakers 6 days before the court passing a judgment on your ally Lalu Prasad Yadav's fate in the fodder scam?
I will respond to that when you give me an opportunity.
Second question. Why was it necessary to promulgate an ordinance on food security on the brink of a parliament election with an eye on a general election which you lost? What was the national emergency then?
I will respond.
Was the election a national emergency?
I want to hear what GVL has...
Was the election a national emergency?
I will respond to all these questions.
Was the election?
I want to hear what GVL has to say.
Was your politics the extraordinary situation?
I want to see what GVL has to say. I want to hear what GVL has to say.
Sure. You think. I knew you'll take 2 minutes.
Then I'll respond.
No, I knew you'll take 2 minutes to think. GVL Narasimha Rao. While we let...
No, I don't need to think.
You see, the entire opposition creates hurdles in Rajya Sabha and ensures no legislative business can happen in the House. On some pretext or other, you create disturbances every day. You don't allow even a insurance bill that has been cleared by the select committee of Rajya Sabha, which actually was constituted only deferring to the suggestions from the opposition. You don't even let that bill be discussed in Rajya Sabha. And there is already an ordinance that was promulgated before this session on Coal Ordinance, and you don't let that coal bill be introduced in Rajya Sabha, which has been cleared by all the parties, a large number of parties in Lok Sabha. I think the attempt is to somehow stall economic progress. The attempt is to ensure that no progress and development happens, and you want to take a revenge with the people of this country. for ensuring that you have been pushed to the lowest tally ever in this country's history.
No, we'll go to tallies later.
I think this is
we'll
the
go to
kind
tallies
of
later.
politics, a negative politics that Congress party is playing.
Well, I hope now Salman Soz has thought through and will now ask the question. By the way, Salman Soz, a small supplementary point I want to make.
Let me respond to a few of these.
No, small supplementary, please, if you permit me. You know what you said when you passed the ordinance on the food security right ahead of the parliament session? You said the opposition was not willing to discuss it. Today the government is saying the same thing. The opposition is not willing to discuss it. So that's it. Now, please respond.
I will.
Please respond.
Okay, now, thank you for all your questions and supplementaries. Let me respond.
You're most welcome.
I want to tell GVL one thing. I want to tell GVL and I want to tell the audience one thing. There was a very serious issue brewing up in this country, and that has kept happening. There has been no governance in this government's time. There's been minimum governance, maximum government, minimum governance. We only asked them for 5 minutes time.
Don't laugh, Mr.
From the
Rao.
Prime Minister.
Why are you laughing?
To simply address a very pressing issue, which was about creating a divide in this country, which was threatening the national security of this country. He had to speak for 5 minutes, and those 5 minutes would have been we would have understood what the Prime Minister is thinking, what his views are. After that, we would have gotten to any of these pieces of legislation. 5 minutes of the Prime Minister's time was not taken for this. This is how serious they are about economic reforms in this country.
This was an excuse being made by the opposition parties. The attempt was
No. I'm
the
sorry.
Was to ensure
No. I'm sorry. This is a very serious issue. Garvapsi, you have love jihad, you have Godse statues. Is this what you wanted the vote for? No. Is this what people voted you for? Garvapsi and Godse.
We wanted to legislate.
Is this what people of India voted you for? They voted for you for development, good governance. But I'm sorry, you're failing on all fronts, and you're making excuses. Your Prime Minister does not have the guts.
Have you been outsmarted, Salman Soz? Salman Soz, you are a reformist at heart.
Or voting for
No, 1 second. Salman Soz.
Prime Minister does not have the guts to take on the
Mr.
Soz. That's what it is.
Mr. Soz, I disagree with you on 99% of the issues, but I agree with you on one thing, that I believe you are a reformist at heart. Do you think it is going to be completely, cause irreparable harm to the Indian economy if the Congress party decides to oppose this ordinance when it is passed through the legislative route within the next 6 months? Can you afford to do that? Who will trust you after that? Who do you want to stand with? Do you want to derail the Indian economy? Do you want people to lose jobs? Do you want investment to slow down?
No.
Is that your agenda? What do you want? You made your political point. Move on.
That is their agenda.
They
want to take a revenge. This is a political...
No, that's a very cynical view, Arnab. That's a very cynical view.
Are you out for revenge?
That's
This is a very cynical view, GVL. That is not...
Certainly,
if you really want positive politics, GVL, why is it that the Prime Minister cannot spend 5 minutes in Parliament and condemn those who are dividing this country and creating disruptions in his own agenda?
Because your agenda...
The Prime Minister's agenda is... If his agenda is development, then he should take on the Sun Parivar.
All right.
The Parliament has every right, because the Parliament represents the people.
Sure it does.
To rake up one issue after the other.
If the Parliament represented the people, then Mr. One food for thought, as I wrap this up, there is a gentleman called Raj Babbar. Primarily an actor, also a politician, better known as an actor. He's a Congress spokesperson. He said in September 2013, when he was asked, why are you bringing an ordinance on convicted lawmakers to save them from being disqualified? He said, because there is an emergency, we need to protect the Constitution. I think this economic issue is a greater emergency than that one. Salman Soz, I thank you for joining me.
The ordinance was also stopped by the Congress party.
I thank you and Narasimha Rao for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight.